Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Stargirl Society, the podcast that inspires you to reclaim your power and start living the life of your dreams. I'm your host, Phoebe Goldsmith, and in today's episode, we're going to be talking about how to reach flow state in life and why balance is the key to your success and happiness. We all know what that blissful flow state feels like when you reach equilibrium. And despite flow state becoming a bit of a joke on social media, it is very much possible to reach flow state in your everyday life and in all areas of your life. And it comes through mastering balance. So if you want to know how to reach flow state in your life, then keep watching. If you like today's episode, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. You can follow if you're over on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. And if you like content like this, then you should follow our Instagram at Stargirl Society Pod and my TikTok at Phoebe Goldsmith, which is linked in the description box below. So what truly is balance? You may have learned by now through first-hand experience or through observing others, you cannot live life in a sustainable way without balance. To have balance in your life is to have a good ratio of doing and non-doing. That is what balance is. Overdoing leads to burnout and underdoing leads to stagnation, to being too still. Reaching flow state in life is about knowing how much you need to do and knowing where to draw the line, knowing the value of letting go, of non-doing, and of rest, knowing how integral that is to your success and balancing the two. As I said, balance is the key to harmony in all areas of your life, so we're going to cover them today. First up, and I think most importantly, is understanding how to have balance in your level of productivity. If you've ever heard the phrase work smart, not hard, that directly relates to the ability to finding balance and understanding how to get the most out of your time by utilizing rest and utilizing non-doing alongside doing an action. You do not need to work 10 hours a day to succeed. You do not need to work yourself to death to deserve happiness and success. People hate other people that don't work hard and that are successful, that seem to be doing nothing and have all this success and money and happiness and good experiences out of life. And that's because our idea of hard work is fucked. Hustle culture and toxic productivity comes from the belief that you are not good enough and you are not deserving unless you are doing something, unless you are working, unless you are tiring yourself out from working and action and doing. But what kind of life is it to work yourself to death just to feel good enough? To miss your whole life because you're focusing on doing. In my opinion, as long as someone isn't evil and making the world a worse place, if you are earning money, working smart, and having to do as little work as possible, adding good things to the world and enjoying your life and having success without burning yourself out, I'm here for that. Is that not the whole point? Anyone that hates on people that do that, you cannot tell me you would not do the same. If somebody offered you a lifestyle in which you do a quarter of the work that you're doing now for quadruple the amount of income, you would do it. You would absolutely do it. So when we look at hustle culture and the types of people that are putting out motivation that's like work hard, work more, keep going, that is all great. It has to be offset with balance and non-doing. I don't know about you guys, but in the past, when I've looked at toxic productivity advice and some man yelling at me on TikTok to do more, I'm like, okay, I feel this motivation and then I want to change my life and be ultra productive every single day. After a few days or a week, I literally can't do it anymore. I'm so burnt out, and it's because these videos don't also show the value of rest and balance. Yes, you can be successful if you work unbelievably hard and push, but A, it's not sustainable, and B, I don't think I want to be in the position where I feel like I can only succeed and only work hard when I'm suffering. I have to experience pain in order to get what I want. I do not, and neither do you. Because of my ADHD, I've really had to get to understand myself and how to get the most out of my time and how to be productive for me. I have really learned the value of balance lately. And I think that people that struggle with the structure, that struggle with 9 to 5, that try to follow strict, regimented structures for productivity and cannot do it, I think these are the people that have the best thoughts on balance, because I got to a point where I did not have a choice. It wasn't working for me, and I had to face my biggest fear of being out of control and stopping myself from placing my worth in my productivity. And I have been 1,000,000% more successful since I have done this. You know, if you think about exercise, even if you're someone who doesn't, everybody knows that you can't go to the gym 365 days a year and achieve anything. In fact, most people are aware of the fact that that is counterproductive for our bodies. And it is the exact same for our minds. Our minds were not made to be forced into ultra productivity every single day and doing it as if someone is holding a gun to our head. So not only having a massive to-do list, but the pressure on ourselves to achieve it as if that is the way we feel successful and productive and good enough. There is a big difference between organic productivity that comes from motivation and productivity that comes from a place of fear. And it is your job to understand where the line gets crossed with your productivity. I think the moment the voice in your head starts telling you that you have to do something, it doesn't feel organic. It doesn't feel like it's coming from the energy of motivation and intuition, and it feels forced. You will know about it. And having that awareness is so important when it comes to implementing balance in your life. And I'm telling you right now, it's not going to feel right. When you decide to add more rest into your life, you're going to feel like a lazy fuck, okay? A, because we've decided that rest is lazy, and B, because most people in society are not resting enough. So when you're comparing yourself to others, when you start implementing the correct amount of rest into your life, you are going to feel lazy, and you are going to feel like people are out there doing so much more than me and achieving more while I'm sitting here resting. But I truly think that slow and steady wins the race. When you pace yourself, you give yourself the opportunity to think more clearly. If you are going like this, if you're a hamster on a wheel and you are not getting off, the actual work you're trying to achieve is going to be compromised by your mental exhaustion. But it will not take long for you to see the benefits of balance and for you to reach flow state. It shouldn't be normal to be exhausted all the time. You're suddenly not going to feel on your deathbed every single Sunday, and it's going to feel weird. But you deserve to feel not overworked. You should feel like you're not doing enough. That's how you know you're resting adequately. Whilst trying to find balance in your life, particularly in productivity, it's very important to keep affirming to yourself a new story about your self-worth. You have to completely detach your productivity from your worth. No matter what kind of day you had, how productive it was, you have to tell yourself that you love yourself, because it's got nothing to do with your internal worth as a human being, how much you did that day. Another way to find balance is to limit your to-do list on a daily basis. So often, and I used to do this, I would have a to-do list every day that was like 10 things long. Now I only ever have 3 things on my to-do list. This forces you to understand your priorities. It's unnatural for the brain to be focusing on so many things every single day. And at first it is going to feel overwhelming because you're itching to get everything on your to-do list done, but you're limiting yourself to 3 things. But over time, you will realize that not only do you get the 3 things that are actually on your to-do list done better than you would have if there was 10 things, but you have so much more energy to be doing other things. I think that there's this pressure to always be achieving something in every single area of your life these days. And when you limit your priorities, you're forcing yourself to see that you are not going to be on your top form in every area of your life all the time. It's like when you have exams or something, your whole world stops. You literally just have to focus on that. You have to let go of the idea of the gym. You have to let go of the idea of seeing friends. Your standard for the way that you look goes down. And although that's a very intense priority and we don't want to be in that state all the time, it shows us that sometimes you just need to be focusing on one thing in order to get the absolute best out of it. Equally, you don't want to be not doing too often. I think there are 2 types of people in this world. There's the people that are overdoing life, and there are people that are underdoing life. The overdoers have their entire self-worth in their productivity and their success and what they achieve. And then underdoers are the victims of life. the people that don't take any control over their life and what they're doing. Sometimes underdoing is the easiest way to float through life. Feeling like a victim, feeling like you have no control over your life and what happens to you, in some respects is easier because it takes a lot off your plate, but it also means you are wasting so much of your potential. As a chronic overdoer, it scares the living hell out of me, the people that just like wake up and don't do anything. Like they have no goals, they have nothing to do. And I'm not saying my mindset has always been healthy. However, don't be stagnant. You can take this energy of being peaceful and sitting back by all means and channel that into your life, but also make sure you are doing. Make sure that you are not the type of person that's complaining about their job every day but just like never leaving, saying they want more out of life and never doing anything towards it. That is equally bad for your balance, and you can't reach flow state like that. It's like sitting in the cinema, front row, watching your own life just go across the screen in front of you. You're there with your popcorn, you're not doing shit. Take some leaps, take some control, and see how much happier you become. Onto another area in which balance is ridiculously important: relationships. Lack of balance in your relationships will damage you emotionally. Forcing is so unnatural for your soul and your heart. Clinging on to a partner, even though you know they're awful for you, continuously trying to change a family member's opinions, the way they treat you, always forcing somebody to see your opinion, your worth, the love you have for them, protecting your partner's actions, not telling your friends or not telling your friends the truth. Finding balance in relationships is about not avoiding conversations about how you feel with fear that they will leave you as a result. Letting people lose you, let people not grow, let people be a loser, let their mental health be bad. We can try and try and try, but at the end of the day, you can't live your entire life proving yourself for love. Equally, you will reach flow state in relationships in your life when you don't reciprocate bad energy. If someone starts ghosting you, if someone starts giving you negative energy, don't match their energy. Don't stoop to their level. Never lower your energy for somebody else. You should be the person you are, and the moment they cannot meet you there, you walk away. Don't become somebody that you don't like just because somebody in your life is doing that to you. You can try and help somebody grow, but you have to balance that with the non-doing, the letting go. Balance in relationships will feel empowering, and that doesn't mean it will always feel easy, but when you finally make the right decision for yourself, you always get that kind of rush that that is the right thing to do. It will feel empowering, whereas forcing will always feel unnatural and you will feel powerless. When it comes to your goals, balance is absolutely key for achieving your dream life. Often, when people are trying to achieve something, they get so wrapped up in the end result that they become obsessive over the way their journey is going. Finding balance, however, is looking at doing as aligning yourself with your dream life and non-doing as you're trusting, as you're letting go, letting the pathway to your dream life reveal itself. Understanding what your job is and what your job is not when you are trying to achieve something is vital. You need to understand that your only job is to envision your dream life and to align yourself as much as possible. Aligning is not the same thing as forcing. Say you want to move somewhere new. Aligning would be, okay, what type of people live there? Who would you hang around with? How would you treat yourself? What would you put your investments into in life, emotionally, literally, in order to live in this particular place? What kind of job would you want? What kind of income would you have? Can I go and walk around the area, energetically be aligned with this life that I want? Forcing would be, I have to have this money to be in this place. I'm going to force myself to work a 60-hour work week in order to do it. Aligning is not deciding how you are going to get there. When you balance your intentions and your actions and your thoughts, your alignment with letting go, not forcing, not resisting, everything will find you so much easier. Becoming obsessed with a goal to the point where you are more so fueled by anger that you don't have something, as opposed to being fueled by motivation for wanting to align with something, it will always feel bad. Your goals and dreams absolutely should be at the forefront of your mind. and be what gets you out of bed and what motivates you to keep going. But exhausting yourself in the process, you're actually taking steps back. Or when you get there, you're going to realize that you can't even enjoy the life that you've achieved because you're so bloody exhausted. And also finding balance in achieving your goals is about being present. It's about seeing what's around you, being grateful for what's around you, and getting to where you want to go, but being able to look back and be like, I enjoyed that journey. Because some journeys might take years of your life, and you do not want to cut out those years that you could have been present and enjoying things by being so focused on your destination. Another area of life that we're going to look at in terms of balance is your emotions. A lot of the time, people are forcing love or forcing happiness upon themselves when actually their intuition and their emotions are completely telling them otherwise. Reaching flow state emotionally is about being with what is. Ironically, pushing sadness away is the easiest way to be more sad. Resisting any form of emotion will only exacerbate negative emotions. Emotions are the biggest gift to humans, but imagine how much better the world would be if everyone was authentic to their emotions. Angry people, bitter people, jealous people, these are the people that are causing the wars. These are the people that are not actually emotionally aware, that are not letting themselves feel emotion. When you act authentically with your emotions and you don't identify with them, you allow them to pass through you, whether that's happiness, whether that's anger, whether that's guilt, they will go so much quicker than if you push them away. They are there no matter what, and you have a choice. You can either feel them and let them go, or you can hold on to them. And if you do that, they're not going anywhere until you decide to feel them. Last but not least, I think it's important to talk about the fear of loss of control, because I think that underpins everybody that is overdoing in their life. People that don't have balance, people that cannot rest to save their life. To fear loss of control is to be controlled. Those who attempt to control the most are in the least amount of control. I saw a thing once that said, the more reactive you are, the more easily manipulated you are. If one outside thing can make you explode in a rage and want to control everything in your life, you are easily manipulated because you are not in control of your emotions and what you are doing. When we feel lack of control in our lives, we want action. We want to feel like we are doing something in order to help ourselves, when in reality we are hurting ourselves by not having balance. But actually, letting go is not surrendering. Letting go is not losing. Letting go of the need for control in your life is how you win. Ultimately, I think that balance is how you experience bliss, happiness, success, and flow state in all areas of your life. And there is no better time than now to start looking at every single area of your life and how you can implement balance. I really hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. If you did, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow our Spotify and Apple podcasts. Follow the Instagram at Stargirl Society Pod and my TikTok at Phoebe Goldsmith for more content like this. I hope you guys have a blessed rest of your day, and I'll see you next week in the next episode.